This video will guide you through the fundamentals of data ingestion from the external database to BigQuery using Diyotta. Analyzing data from different data sources on a cloud data warehouse is one of today's key business imperatives. Moving data from a wide-ranging list of traditional and web sources onto the cloud can be challenging. A few of the common challenges faced in how to migrate data quickly, efficiently, and in the requisite structure of the cloud data warehouse. Diyotta provides an easy-to-use platform and enables data migration from various sources, such as the relational database, file, or data warehouses, onto cloud instances of Snowflake, Redshift, and Google BigQuery seamlessly and securely. We will demonstrate data migration in parallel from Fault File and Hive Table to BigQuery. Let's review the detailed steps involved in this process. To load data from Flat File and Hive Table to BigQuery, let's review the predefined data points of all three platforms. For file data point, we can specify the file location in Properties and ensure that the flat file exists on the remote or server location in advance. Hadoop data points need more details for connection. We can specify the fields under Properties, Databases, Runtime Properties, and Settings. Similarly, for BigQuery, we can define the properties and datasets. In order to define the metadata definition of data objects to be ingested, we can either create the object manually or import it directly from the data point that we created in the previous step. Following best practice, let's import the data objects for both File and Hive database. Select the file data point and select Store Flat File from the server. The wizard will preview the selected data. Specify the delimiter and click Finish. Let's save the data object. Next, let's import the Hive table via the predefined data point. This takes us to the connection details. Click Next. We can also, per a wildcard, search to find a data object quickly. In this example, we will import the customer data object and save it. The data objects are now imported. Let's use them in our data flow. Data flow is where we define the extract, load, or transform rules in Diyotta. In this illustration, we will focus on the extract and load portion as we're performing a simple data migration. We can also generate a planned data ingestion data flow by using the data movement wizard, or we can create pipelines manually. In this example, we will build a pipeline manually. Let's create a new BigQuery data flow. Drag the file source from the Sources section and select the flat file data object that we need to ingest. Let's select the stored data object that we imported earlier. Similarly, let's set the Hadoop source in data flow and select the customer data object. Diyotta's easy-to-use interface allows us to view data live at any stage within the data flow. Toggle the interactive switch to the on mode and let's view the customer data in the lower pane to see if the source data is as desired. Next, let's link the target for both the source objects. For this demonstration, we will create the target objects for both using the BigQuery data point that we reviewed initially. We have created two data pipelines. Diyotta provides the option to define the processing type and pipeline order for the execution. Click on Load Order under the data flow. Here we can set the preference to either execute these pipelines in parallel or sequential and even change the pipeline order. By default, the pipelines are processed in parallel without any dependencies. In this example, we will process the pipelines in parallel. For a data flow with multiple data pipelines, we can process the pipelines based on batch size. Click on Save and then Run to execute the data flow. We can view execution status by either clicking on View Execution Status or by navigating to the activity screen in the Monitor module. Our data flow has run successfully, and the records are loaded into the two target tables. Expand the data flow and view the units and statistics for each target object. Next, let's verify the data in the target database using the View Data feature in the Studio. Select the target object and click the Data tab in the lower pane. The data is loaded into the target tables as expected. Diyotta allows us to easily create multiple data pipelines in parallelism and load data from various sources to BigQuery with limited or no BigQuery expertise. To orchestrate this data flow as a job, we can create this as a job flow, add parameters, and define dependencies on other jobs. We can also orchestrate via File Watcher or time-based triggers and schedule the job flows via Diyotta Scheduler or any externally available scheduler. This concludes the short tutorial on data migration onto BigQuery using Diyotta. Thanks for watching. Visit support.diyotta.com for additional knowledge base articles and tutorials.